Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will create a new Foundry agent. If you have been following my videos, we have already created a user management agent. So that agent has everything related to users. Currently, we have three methods. First one is used to create an account. The second one gets a list of all user accounts. And the third one is used for the sign in. So now we will create a new agent which will create the insurance policies. I have created a form with some fields. So once this information is submitted, we will call a Foundry agent. The Foundry agent will call an MCP server, which will have tools. One of the tools will have create new insurance policy, and that tool will store this information into a blob storage. In one of our previous videos, we created a video where we talk about RAG search, vector search. And in that vector search, we generated hundreds of JSON documents, and this is the storage container we used. So in today's demo, once this information is submitted, we will create a new JSON file and store here. So let's get started. So let's start by creating a new branch first. So let's create a new MCP server first. So this class will contain all tools related to insurance policies. I'm going to copy some information from this tool. So let's have a look at the insurance document. So we have a blob container, RAG documents, which we used in one of the previous videos. And we generated few JSON files. So if I open this JSON file, so I need to provide these properties. So the ID is auto-generated, which we can generate in the tool. We need to provide content. Then we have insurer and the title. Then we have tags, which we can store as a comma separated string. Then we have premium amount. And the last value is active. Okay, so we have defined a tool and we have also specified the properties. Let's change the method name. So once this information is provided and this tool is submitted, we need to create a blob in the blob container. So go to class library in the services. So we have a service which is used for the storage accounts. So this is used to get information from a storage table. Let me rename it. So I'm calling it storage account table service. So everything related to storage table, we can put that code here. And for this one, which we had a document service, this is used to create the blobs. So I have explained all this in a previous video, line by line, everything in detail. So please check out that video. I'm going to rename this. So this is called now storage account blob service. Okay, so in this tool, once this information is submitted, we have to call a blob service and pass this information and it will create a blob for us. If we have a look at the blob service, so this is a method which basically upload the documents, but this needs an array of documents. So let's inject this service first. So this needs a list of Azure search document, which is this document. The ID we will auto generate. The content is coming from here. Insurer is coming from there. Title is there. And the tag, we will provide a comma separated list and that will be converted into an array, premium amount and is active. And then we can convert this to an array or list and pass it here. And at the end, we can just return a message. Okay, so now let's test this part. Okay, so the MCP server is running. Let's connect. It is not showing our method, so probably we have not registered it. So every new class you create, you need to register here for the tools, MCP tools. Okay, so we have create new insurance policy method there. So this just prepares the method. The only thing we can check is the ID, which is this randomly created GUID. It has converted the comma separated tags into an array of strings. So that looks good. Let's go into this method. Okay, it's showing some sort of error. Let's put a breakpoint here. Okay, so the URL we have configured for the Foundry OpenAI is not correct. So it's saying no such host is known. So let's have a look at that. So this is not an open API. This should be OpenAI. So this is a new user interface. I had created a previous video which I explained the new benefits, but it is still in preview. So I will switch to the old one. So go to Azure OpenAI and copy this endpoint. Okay, so it's being loaded in the constructor, which is okay, which will work, but there is a better way of doing it. And I think let's do it. So we should not be loading things here. We should be loading this in the startup in the program file. So just like this, it's reading from the configuration and then creating an object. So all other methods should be initiated here. Let me create a new method which will read the config value. So we created a method which will take the builder and also the key, and it will check if that key is available in the configuration, then it returns the value. But if that doesn't exist, then we show a user-friendly exception. So we can see in the application inside. Now let's go back to this one and we can convert this one by one. Yes, the first thing we need to do is we need to convert the embedding client. So let's copy this thing. So that is Node API. So that is OpenAI. And then we can call this method. So that is OpenAPI key, OpenAI key. So that key will be used here. Then we need OpenAI endpoint. And then we need to return the embedding client. So once we do this, we need to pass this here. So we don't need to pass configuration. Okay. So that is now done. Same thing we need to do is for the search client. Let me cut this line. So we need search key. Azure search key. And then we need Azure search endpoint. So this now search client available has dependency injection. So we just copy this thing. And then we don't need these. Okay, much cleaner now. So once we copied this, let's copy the key as well. So this is the API key of the OpenAI API. Confusing name, but okay. I think that's it. Let's put a breakpoint here and run it. So this is AI, not Open API. We go the key, we go the endpoint. So this one is okay. We have search key and we have the search endpoint. So we can move this blob container client into the startup file. So that will be easier to handle here. So this need a connection string and the blob container name. So connection string name is this. Let me copy the whole line. And then we have the blob container name, which is this name. Okay, so now we can inject this. So we don't need this connection string. We don't need this blob containers now, and this would be coming from the injection. I think that's it. Let's run it and put a breakpoint. So the container client is all good. So it's now getting embedding. I have explained this embedding in that Azure search vector search video. Have a look at that video. So that will explain what this embedding is. It says this model node found. Let's have a look. So this model is defined in here. But if I look at the AI Foundry, I can go to model endpoints. So this is the model name. So I'm just copying this name. So I created this model from scratch. So we'll have a look at the video. So that will explain the steps. Okay, so we got the embedding back, which is some sort of numbers. So the main thing is we are now going to upload the blob. Okay, so the blob has been uploaded and this returns a message which will be displayed here. So let's have a look at the blob. So we need to sort them by time. And right now is 12 and this is exactly, we got the document. So if I click and download this document, and this is the content we put. Okay, so that part is now done. Let's deploy this. So this is now running locally. So we have to deploy it on Azure so we can test it from there. MCP server is now running and it has been deployed. The only thing I wanted to make sure is the configuration keys. So let me check this one by one. We should have all keys there. If not, then we will add them. Okay, so that looks fine. And then we need to disconnect this and connect to Azure. Then connect and send. Okay, looks like has been created. Let's make sure. Okay, so the new document is there now. If I download this, I can see my content. Okay, so the MCP server is now running locally and also on Azure. That part is now done. Now let's move to agent. Let me open the VS Code. So we had agents folder and currently we have users management agent. So we created this agent for all the users management related methods. But this one is now different. So this is called insurance policy insurance claims. So we will need to create a new agent. So I have extension installed. Microsoft Foundry. So I can create a new agent from here, or I can also create from the portal. So you go to agents. Okay, let's create a new agent. I'm calling insurance policy agent. This is auto-generated ID. We don't need to worry. We have specified the name, and then we will specify the instruction, and we can specify the knowledge. But we need MCP server, which is not available here. But in the new user interface, which I have explained in the previous video, you can add an MCP server from the portal as well. But for this demo, this agent has been created, and now let's move to VS Code. So here is my agent. Click on Edit Agent. Click on MCP Server. So this needs a server URL. Copy this URL. So I'm calling in insurance policy. Create new insurance policy, or if you have other methods related to insurance policy, we can check them. These are all related to users, so that would be in a different agent. So there is only one method. So click on that method and click on create. Now we need to provide instructions. Copy this content. We need to make a small change. So we just need one paragraph. That should be enough for us. So this should cover all fields. For example, we have content, we have insurance, we have title, tags, premium amount, and exactive. So everything is there. So let's put it here. And just before that, copy the name of the tool and decorate it like this. So this is a create insurance policy tool, and this is what this tool does. And probably that's it. Update the agent. Now let's test it. Open in Playground. So if I say I want to create an insurance policy, there is no currently authentication. Okay, so it says I can help, but I need this information. So let's copy this content, this whole JSON body. So anything under arguments, I'm just copying that. And it is intelligent enough to understand this. So I'm changing this to VS Code, and we can leave everything as is. Just enter. So I have given this information as a JSON object. You can simply write in words. That should be fine as well. Okay, looks like it's called MCP server, and it passed this information as an argument, and it says the policy has been created. Let's have a look. And this is the new policy. Let's download and verify. Yep, all good. Our agent is also working. The next step we need to do is we need to create a web form, and in the web form we will call this agent and pass this information from the web form, and it should create the policy as well. Okay, and for that, let's create a new web page. Okay, now we have to design this page. The easiest way is you come here, or maybe create a model class first, because the web form need model. So I'm calling it insurance policy model. We don't need this search field or sample fields. These are not required for the model. We don't need ID as well. And then you can decorate it just like if you need a required field. For example, if you go to a different model, yeah, you can add these options as well. For example, we want to make content required. So you can add more validation here. Okay, so we have this model now. So I will copy this, go to DeepSeek. Let's copy this form tag. Okay, so in the code behind, we need to define the model we had. So that was insurance policy model, I think. Yeah. So that would be the model dot content. So this is model dot insurer. Now let's add this to the navigation. Okay, let's run it and see in action. I think we have to bind these properties. Okay, so far so good. Now next thing we need to do is when this form is submitted, we have to call the agent, which we have done in the sign up or sign in. So first we need to have user management agent. So that was user management. But for our insurance policy, we need to create a new agent. So that was user management, and I will call insurance policy or insurance claim. So in the users management, we needed to define these things. And this is basically the main method which calls the Foundry agent. So we have to move this into a shared place because for both agents, this method will be called. So let me create a base agent. You can call it a different way. So this would be all common method related to agent will go into this class. Removing this method from here and moving it here. We can make this public. Okay, so this need agent client. So how do we get the agent client? So this agent client need Foundry endpoint and also the identity. And for that, let's copy this and go to startup file. Let me copy some code. Let's paste it here. So in the MCP server, we created this method. So let's copy this. So this we can use here. So that would be builder.services.add singleton. This is optional, we can remove it. We need this configuration value, and it needs the provider, which is, it needs the builder, which is this, and the key is this. Okay, so now it is registered, and then now we can get this via injection. So we don't need this configuration, we can simply add this, remove both lines. Okay, and when we calling this, because this is now in a different class, we can inherit from that agent, or we can simply create an object of that agent base and pass this all this method. Okay, if I go to base agent, now base agent need this, so I'm creating a constructor and copy these two lines. Okay, all good, I think. And now this needs the client. Okay, so much easier now. So now we have insurance claim agent. We need to provide these two things. And then we need to create a method which will accept those parameters. So that will be create insurance policy or the claim. So this is called insurance policy. So let's, maybe it's not a policy, it's a claim. I'm mixing up. I'm calling it insurance claim. Okay, if I go to agent, we we need to provide this, but before that, create a new insurance claim with the following details. And the detail we need is content, insurer, and the title. Tags, premium amount, and executive. We can copy from here. So the tags, so that is content. This one is insurer. This one is title. This one is tags. Premium amount and is active. Okay, and now we are just calling this, and that looks fine to me. Let's have a look at user management service. So this is not a user management service anymore. So this would be called Foundry Agent. Okay, and now this agent ID ending with PLX. So this is this user management agent. So this is hard coded. So if we have a new agent which is ending with YRL, then we need to pass this where the agent is raised. So what we can do is when we pass this prompt, we can pass the agent ID as well. So this line is not needed. Okay, so now here we need to have the agent ID. One option for us is that we can hard code it here, agent ID. Another option is we can read from the configuration because this agent ID will change. So this could be our dev foundry agent. Then there will be set UAT and production agents. So the IDs will be different. So let's create a configuration for that. So I'm calling it users management agent. And the second one would be insurance claim agent. Okay, so this is the insurance policy agent. Sorry, not a policy. This is insurance claim. So that will go here. And for the users management, will come here. Okay, so in that startup file, so we have registered user management agent only. So let's register insurance claim agent. But if we want to specify the agent ID as well, so what we can do is we can use this approach. We need to pass the client, and we can also pass an agent here, yeah, agent ID. So that would be, so how do we pass agent client? So go to your service provider, so get required service. This will return us a client, and that client we can pass here. And then we need to pass the agent ID, which we can grab from the configuration. Okay, so now this is done for the insurance claim agent. Let's do same thing for the users management. We don't need this now. So this would be users management agent. So this also needs string agent ID. And then this ID can be passed here. Okay, let's put a breakpoint. And what else is remaining here? I think it's all done. Let's put a big breakpoint, and now let's go to the web page. So first thing we need to do is to get the agent insurance. Create insurance claim, and then we pass this insurance model, and that's it, I think. Okay, let's run it. and see how things working. It's loading Foundry agent. It found it. Agent ID is also there. So this looks good. Yeah, I think we have everything in the model, so that's all fine. Let's go to the claim. Let's have a look. Create a new insurance claim with the following details. It has a content, insurer, title, tags. Tag is coming as a string, empty string, which we need to fix. Premium amount is fine and is active is also true. So tag is coming as a string of array of strings. So we can just get the first or default. So that will give us the string at index 1. Let's have a look now. Yeah, all good. So this is also fine. Now let's go to agent. I'm putting a breakpoint here. We have the agent ID and everything looks okay. So let's now run. Okay, so it got the agent and got the message, it created a thread run, and now waiting for the run status. Okay, if you don't know all this, then you look at the first video in this playlist. So I have explained all these in detail, line by line. So I'm putting a breakpoint here and let's see what the status now. It says requires action. Then it will come here and it will approve it. And now the status is completed. And now it's returning the message. And the message is the new insurance policy has been created with this ID and all good. So we can simply return this message from here. And then we can save this in a variable and display a success message on the form so that I can leave it up to you guys. So just to display a message somewhere here that the policy has been created. Now next thing we need to do is we need to verify. So the time now is 12:47. Yeah, it's created 1 minute ago, 1:46. And if I download and verify, so content from agent, and I think that's what we type on the form, content from the agent, all good. So now we have created multiple agents in one application and each agent has its own job. And then we refactor the code a lot. And I think that's it for today. If you like the video, just give me a thumbs up, just write a comment. I try to read all comments and try to answer all of them. And if you like my videos, if you want to support me, I just need your support. Please subscribe to my channel and share with your other friends. And that's it for today. And see you guys next video. Bye bye.